A pleasant day to all of you, esteemed guidance counselors of the beautiful Quezon City. First of all, I'm truly grateful for the opportunity given to me today to share something with you, though really briefly. Thank you, Ma'am Sharon Gutierrez. Personally, I am very much convinced of its significance to our students, to our teachers, and to our country. So, given an avenue or a platform to share it with others, I would never say no to it. Hence, here I am. By the way, I am John Israel U. Cunanan, a lecturer from the Values Education and Philosophy of Education programs at the College of Education, University of the Philippines, Diliman. So, what is this that I'm excited to share with you? Values education. Our students, the Filipino student, study the subjects math, science, English, MAPE, Araling Panlipunan, TLE, Filipino, and others from grades 1 to 10. The newest additions to this roster are GMRC, or Good Manners and Right Conduct, for grades 1 to 6, and Values Education for grades 7 to 10. The inclusion of these subjects into the curriculum was by virtue of Republic Act 11476, thereby institutionalizing GMRC and Values Education in the K 12 curriculum. Do please allow me to share with you two things from this Republic Act. First is the definition of values education. Second is the coverage of values education. The first answers the question, what is it? The second answers the question, what does this education contain? First, I highly commend the definition of values education provided by the Republic Act. It says, values education is the process that provides young people internalization of values, which aims at students' grasp of underlying principles, together with the ability to act on those principles and the settled disposition to do so. There is so much to unpack here, but for our purposes, based on the definition, the Filipino student is said to be educated in values education if he/she possesses three things. The first is an understanding of the values, whatever they are. Second is if he/she possesses the ability to act on this understanding of the values, again, whatever they are. And then third, if she or he possesses the disposition to act on this understanding of the values. This is a robust definition of values education because it involves first, knowledge, second, ability, and lastly, disposition. Knowledge is important, but it is not the be all and end all of values education or of education in general. That knowledge has to be translated by the student into action or ability. But of course, we should not rest content either with mere skill or ability, because it is possible that the student would possess the ability but not actuate it. Hence, values education must also touch upon the dispositions of our students. To be disposed to do something is to be inclined to do it. Secondly, let's go now to the coverage of values education. Again, based on the Republic Act. There's actually a lot. I would love to have an engagement with all of you about these values. I do. But for now, let me just ask you this question. What would our school leavers, the students, be like if all of them possess the knowledge, skill, and disposition to, listen carefully, respect oneself, others, and elders, observance of intercultural diversity, gender equity, ecology and integrity of creation, peace and justice, obedience to the law, nationalism, global citizenship, observance of patience, perseverance, industry, honesty, integrity, good faith, observance of universal human, ethical, and moral values. Again, suppose our school leavers, our students, did possess all of this. What would be the effect? Definitely, there are too many to itemize. But one thing is for sure, wow, amazing, right? These are the values that the subject values education aims to cultivate in our students. Let me emphasize, the subject values education aims to cultivate these values in the Filipino student. To go back to the definition of values education per the Republic Act, the student is said to have cultivated these values if and only if the student understands these values, possesses the ability to act upon this understanding, and possesses the disposition to do so. In other words, the student is said to have learned these values. So right now, we are operating on the idea of learning already. In other words, one overarching question is this: how do we ensure that the Filipino student learns these values? What must we do so that the Filipino student learns these values, that is, understands these values, possesses the ability to act upon this understanding, and possesses the disposition to do so? To borrow a statement from the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, or PPST, of 2017, quality learning is contingent upon quality teaching. Let me repeat: quality learning is contingent upon quality teaching. For quality learning to happen, there has to be quality teaching. Now, if you are convinced of the significance of values education as a subject, and convinced of the weight of the learning of our students in values education, since quality learning is contingent upon quality teaching, then we must invest on teaching. In particular, we must invest on the teachers of values education, or more so, we must invest on the future teachers of values education. I now come to another point of this short sharing. The College of Education of UP Diliman, through its Values Education and Philosophy of Education programs, now offers a Bachelor in Secondary Education (BSED) major in Values Education. Again, quality learning is contingent upon quality teaching. It is really timely that the subject values education, institutionalized in our K-12 curriculum last 2020, was simultaneous with the institutionalization of the offering of BSED major in values education at the College of Education UP Diliman. We should start educating and training future values education teachers in the country. UP Diliman is one of the few teacher education institutions in the country that offer a BSED in values education. But what makes this particular offering different from the offerings in other TEIs is its explicit attention toward the development of future values education teachers' critical thinking, higher order thinking skills and dispositions, and reasoning. Now, this is reflective of what Israel Schaffler says, a professor in Harvard Graduate School of Education. He says, teachers need to have entered sufficiently into the rational life themselves to be able to help the young also to enter it. In other words, for our students of values education to exhibit in their lives the desired critical thinking, higher order thinking skills and dispositions, and reasoning, future values education teachers should be educated therein. Again, quality learning is contingent upon quality teaching. Here are some of the career opportunities of a graduate of BSED in Values Education from UP Diliman College of Education: teaching in basic education and senior high school, college and postgraduate teaching, consultancy, research, non-government and development work, administrative and human resource, leadership roles, government service, and advocacy work. And since our program is heavy on reasoning about values and morality, this would make a great pre-law course for those who are looking forward in pursuing a career in law. Also, by virtue of RA 10931, or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, the tuition for pursuing BSED in Values Education at UP Diliman is for free. And not only that, we also offer some scholarships which include an allowance given to the student per semester. To summarize, the course duly equips the future values education teacher with the requisites of a values education teacher, with much emphasis on critical thinking and reasoning. The course also opens up the student to several career opportunities, which include being a lawyer. The tuition of the course is free, and there are scholarship grants that can be availed by the student. Lastly, the strength of the program is very much dependent on what the faculty actually do. The professors and lecturers do not only teach values education, but have engaged in several researches regarding values education. Ladies and gentlemen, This is the Bachelor in Secondary Education BSED major in Values Education from the UP Diliman College of Education. I know that the ones listening to me right now are the esteemed guidance counselors from the beautiful Quezon City. And I know that one of the recurring projects of guidance counselors, which I deem very, very important, is career guidance for the student's individual education plan and goal setting. Given so, may I kindly request that you include the BSED in Values Education of UP Diliman College of Education in one of those that you share with our students? If you are convinced of the importance of values education to the lives of our students and to the country, and if you are convinced that quality learning is contingent upon quality teaching, and if you are convinced of what this course offers to future values education teachers, then I kindly request that you share this with our students in Quezon City. For further details, do please visit our official Facebook page. Just key in the Facebook search bar these words: UP Philosophy of Education and Values Education Programs. Let me repeat that. Key in these words in the Facebook search bar: UP Philosophy of Education and Values Education Programs. We would be very much delighted to respond immediately to your queries. Let me just leave you with this tagline of ours: we offer this course to future values education teachers in the country because we need to think deeply about our values dahil kailangan natin ng malalim na pagninilay sa ating mga pagpapahalaga. Thank you very much. Keep safe.